This issue of Video Fashion News is all about flower power. We look at the collections that channel the beauty, sensuality, and vitality of flowers. Tiffany Brown harnesses the healing power of lavender on her New York Fashion Week runway.
I love monochromatic looks, so usually what I try to do is peek to looks and what their meaning is. And so for lavender, that's healing, that's releasing tension.
Xue Gao looks to her grandmother's garden for spring inspiration. Then revisit the designer's first solo show. Mira Zwillinger presents an optimistic vision of our post-pandemic future. Plus, step into the Video Fashion Archives for the design duo's enchanting, blossom-inspired runway.
Our inspiration is Whisper of Blossom, which means the moment when the buds just start, to blossom on the trees after the cold winter, and the new feeling and the hope and the excitement.
But first, this New York City museum reveals how the rose has influenced the way we look, dress, and fantasize. It's all next on Video Fashion News. The museum at the Fashion Institute of Technology revealed the power of the world's most popular flower in their latest exhibition, Ravishing, the Rose in Fashion.
The museum at F.I.T. is thrilled to reopen after more than a year with Ravishing the Rose in Fashion. This is a beautiful exhibition that showcases how popular the rose motif is in fashion. It has many stunning garments that I hope our visitors will enjoy, but it also shows how frequently designers have relied on the rose for inspiration. Ravishing the Rose in Fashion explores 3 centuries of the rose motif in fashion, beginning in the 18th century and extending all the way to the present day. The exhibition begins with a wonderful display of hats and continues with a display of beautiful garments that show how popular the rose motif is in fashion. The rose motif in fashion has been popular for centuries. It's considered to be the queen of flowers. In addition to the beauty of the flower itself, the rose also has thorns. That lends it a lot of rich symbolism, from everything from beauty and love to death and decay. A highlight of the exhibition is the American Rose Beauty Gown by Halston. It's from 1980. This gown really showcases Halston's wonderful pattern making skills. It's made from a series of circular pattern pieces that, when folded and stitched, unfurl like a rose over the body. One of my favorite parts of the exhibition is the introductory gallery, which features a garden of hats with more than 75 examples on display. Many of the hats date from the early 20th century to about the 1960s, and we have examples by famous milliners like Lily Daché and Mr. John and Carolyn Rabu. We also, however, looked for more contemporary examples. We have a top hat by Stephen Jones that was designed in 2008 and remade specially for the museum at F.I.T. and this exhibition. Alexander McQueen was one of the designers most known for using roses. We have 2 examples of his beautiful tailoring techniques in the exhibition, which he's combined with rose motifs, combining a bit of the feminine and the masculine in a single garment. We featured many fantastic designers in Ravishing the Rose in Fashion, including Christian Dior, Valentino, Alexander McQueen, Lucille, Duro Oluwu. It goes on and on. Everyone you can imagine that used the rose motif will be in the exhibition.
We're working at Tiffany Brown, and today's look is very boho chic. So it's what I call expensive looking boho hair that's done but not done. We're using a variety of products depending on the hair type, be it hairsprays, volumizers and texturizers that we prep the hair with, and then we do final finish. We'll be using things like a texturizing spray or a dust depending on the hair type, just to accentuate that sort of like messy done but undone hair. Giving it a little bit of a Parisian feel to this one as well.
We are backstage at Tiffany Brown, and the look is a very soft, smoky eye with a nude lip and a little bit of blush to open up the cheeks. We have some Dermalogica on the skin. For eyeshadow, we're using Visart, and for brows, Anastasia. I would describe her as obviously fashionable, put together, effortless, and just beautiful.
This season is about lavender. I love monochromatic looks, so usually what I try to do is peek to looks and what their meaning is. And so for lavender, that's healing, that's releasing tension. And so after all the things that have happened during COVID, I felt like this would be a great opportunity for us to get a color that kind of brings back the vibrancy of people. We've seen a lot in the last 2 years as far as death and other socioeconomic issues. And so I think this is kind of bringing us back to luxury, bringing us back to the rebirth of the brunch, rebirth of, but in a social distance way, of course. But rebirth of just going to different events and just enjoying yourself again and being a little extra and just kind of like living life a little bit more. My inspiration is Audrey Hepburn, that represents Tiffany's look, so I love more of a vintage look. Then I did a little bit of athletic leisure wear, kind of his and her, if you just want to chill and kind of hang out, but you still want to go out. And that same monochromatic theme of various shades of lavender and lilac and purple. We have 40 pieces, 5 of them are for men. This is my slowly emergence into menswear. I love menswear. I love a little his-her. We have a his-her double-breasted suit that I enjoy. We also have some feather pieces. I will always do a tutu. I love tutus. It's just something about it. It's very extra, like, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go to a basketball game and just extra tutu. I also love kind of a piece that is a little bit voluptuous, but then also very lean at the top. So I like pieces that kind of balance that out. My customer is someone who maybe is a little extra in their own right, that need maybe go to a lot of theme events. Because in the South, I'm from the South, so we do big church events and stuff like that, as well as the fact someone that just wants to kind of stand out in a way, but with a clean look that is luxury, but it's not something that everyone's gonna have. Lilac is a color that is kind of hard to find. I actually personally dyed these pieces because they're very difficult to kind of find the right color scheme, and so I wanted to kind of elaborate with that. The post-COVID wardrobe is be as extra as you want to be. I think we've all learned in these COVID times that do whatever you feel is best for you in your own mental health and self-care. And so for me, like getting ready for this, you know, we've all been in like yoga pants and sweats and stuff for the last year and a half. So getting ready for this and sketching and everything, I started to dress up again, you know, and so people saw me coming in, like, where is she going? So, but it helps to make you feel better because you're like, okay, we're back in the zone, we're back. I had to get ready for it. And then also if you want to, you know, get into street style, I'm very much a street style person because, you know, you can be dressed up in one moment, but kind of, you know, not really dress up other moments, but your street style keeps your mental health, it keeps your spirits high. So, you know, you've got like a great like feather skirt on and a tank, and then you go to Starbucks and all is right with the world, and it's great.
This season, the inspiration starting point is really from my grandma's garden, where I spent a lot of time when I was a child. In Beijing, grew up in Beijing, and the garden is all about peony flower, because that is also the national flower of China. All the old generation, they just love that kind of flower in different color. So I really inspired by the shape of the peony flower, and we develop in different kind of construction and different colorway. I work with a New York-based young artist to develop it's kind of like the hand drawing of the peony flower to develop our prints. Also, our brand is all about the conversation between tailoring and the prints for women's wear. So we are continue to telling the story of the balance between masculine and feminine. But this season, the print story is really inspired by those peony flower. This season for the tailoring, we're carrying a lot of very lightweight wool. It's like a wool and cotton blend. It's very breathable for the suiting in spring, summer for women. And the prints part, we continue to carry the silk prints, which is our main product and also the main material to do the prints. And also for spring, summer, I also inspire in the past couple of years, people work from home and how we just stay at home and wear a cotton t-shirt or a cotton sweatshirt. We do develop a lot of lightweight prints cotton for this season. So you can see the same print story work on different materials. Some is in silk, it's good to wear for an event, and some is on cotton, and you can wear on the daytime, more casual way. I always can feel my customers' personality first, because I feel the people who would love to wear my clothes, they are definitely very care about their family, friendship, joy of the lifestyle. I think the whole web of the collection is all about colorful prints. You can wear during the day with blazer, or on the weekend or vacation with the dress. So my customer, they enjoy the family life and spend a lot of time, spend the weekend, spend holiday with friends, with family. That is really kind of like our customer. This is more like for family and joy together. Since my first solo show, spring presentation, and here is a downtown Manhattan gallery, and this time I work with two artists to set up all the art installation. I always keep the conversation about the balance between masculine and feminine. I continue how I strain with tailoring and draping, and this season some new inspiration from Beijing Opera. interesting about Beijing opera because Beijing opera usually they let male actor to play a woman role. So this time I'm doing women's wear, but we also add boys to wear the women's wear. And it worked very well. Like Chris is wearing a JFK suiting, and next to Mariko like very feminine jazz. We always keep this balance, masculine, feminine, and the tailoring, draping, Eastern, Western together. Then we work with Beijing Opera for some silk print design. I try to put some tailoring, draping, technician work on the dress. This one's about Asian fan on the shoulder. I call it fun dress. That is my favorite dress. It's all bias cut and we twist some transparent silk jacquard with suiting. I'm thinking like working lady, but they don't just want to wear normal uniform. Working lady, they need wear suiting, but one special.
South African label Sober Design House channeled flowers in their spring 2021 collection. Soft flower prints were a feminine touch to the refined silhouettes. Tailored shoulders and waist were softened with subtle touches of color and delicate detailing. Led by designer Chipo Mafokwane, Sober Design House creates urban chic pieces that are bold and ultra-feminine. The mother and daughter design duo behind the label Mira Zwillinger had renewal and rebirth on their mind for spring 2022. Entitled Winds of Wonder, the collection was all about happiness and optimism for a post-pandemic world. Embroidered flowers, petals, and leaves imbued the collection with the spirit of nature. Breathtaking gowns were flowing, radiant, and airy. Delicate detailing and ornamentation elevated the runway looks. Now, step into the Video Fashion Vault to see how the design duo behind the label has harnessed the power of flowers in their previous work.
For this season, our inspiration is Whisper of Blossom, which means the moment when the buds just start, to blossom on the trees after the cold winter, and the new feeling and the hope and the excitement and the optimism and the magical beauty it brings. That's connected to the bride. That's how she needs to feel and want to feel on her wedding day. In this collection, we have a lot of handmade flowers, which are hand-dyed and are made with combination of few colors to give it, a depth look and to give it
the blossom color.
Yeah.
To get the blossom color for all these flowers.
The Mira Zwillinger show was heavenly. It was divine. A blossom of spring. I mean, really, really, really stunning. The color of the nudes and the pale blushes were so right on target. The bare quality of the dress was just the right balance of bare and not bare. It's just really good to see her evolving into a really full evolved collection. Loved it. It was stunning. Really stunning.
I thought it was beautiful. It's exactly what Mira and Leahy do so well, like romantic, ethereal. They do things very subtly, subtle color, subtle movement, and it makes a much bigger statement than something more grand.
We use few fabrics together, and it gives like a shadow into the gown. It gives it more interest.
Deepness into each dress. For example, we have a dress that to create the deepness, we put very fine lace, and on top of it come the crystal pleats. So it's make a very impression and very interesting look.
It's very soft look, very feminine, very whimsical, very dreamy.
Magical,
dreamy.
Magical
and
unique.
And
magical,
also
new
fresh.
and unique.
And fresh is very important
And
for
unique.
us. When you fell in love in a dress, you know it immediately. It's like when you fell in love, generally. So when you feel it in your heart, that's the dress. And also it's very important the bride to feel comfortable and to feel
to
good
know
in the
what
dress.
really suits her, to be what she is, to have her own style, also when she's a bride. That I think the motto and what is very important.
Yes.
That's a wrap on this episode of Video Fashion News. Tune in next time for another fashion experience.